Welcome back to another Scottish Tech YouTube video. So last time out we done that clutch and the scanny, and today I've got a day in a life video for you. So I'm going to show you sort of what I get up to in a day-to-day running in the business and what we all do. But so first job of the day is an early kind of daft, and it started a few hours ago. I just had to wait for some daylight to do the intro, but wind back a bit and we'll get on with the day. Currently on our way down the M74, so we left the house this morning nice and early, just after 5, and we're heading to a quarry at Johnston Bridge. So we're heading down there to an 8-wheeler that has an air leak. They reckon an air pipes came out of a brake chamber or something like that, so we're on our way to that just now, and we will see what that is when we get there. That is us now arrived at the quarry, so just climbing up a very steep hill here. So we'll get to the top of it, hopefully the truck's at the top, and then we can have a look at it. Now we've got a wee bit of an issue. So the Hazelbank quarry that we have came to isn't the right one. Apparently there's two. There's another one over by Gala Shields. So the other one doesn't really come up on Google. It was only really this one. I didn't get given a postcode, so we're trying to find a postcode for that other one over that direction, and then we're going to have to head over there because this one is not correct. Check the road out in this quarry. Don't know if you can see it too well, but big massive deep grooves. You struggle to lose grip on this road. Now I think you can all agree that Scotland's roads, they're just the best. Driving through the mountains, Monday morning, like that. Now I said right at the start of this video that I'd show you the sort of day-to-day running. That's not really possible because my partner Rhea, she does all that. So she's my partner at home and my business partner. She handles all the phone breakdowns, emails, everything. She does that, and invoicing, that sort of thing. So she does the day-to-day running, and she just allocates me and Greg jobs basically. And once I finish up at night, we both sit down together, we invoice together, so we don't miss any, and we make sure we get it all right. But I can show you the sort of day-to-day mechanical side, and if it's something you'd be interested in, drop a comment, let me know. I can do a sort of day-to-day life with Rhea for what it's like on that side of things, with phone calls and breakdown apps and invoicing, that side of things. We are going to do a joint video on basically starting up the Scottish Tech Fleet Support and what it all took and how we done it and things like that. So you'll get to meet her then. But I'll show you the sort of day-to-day mechanical side in this one. We're now only a couple of minutes away from the quarry that we're meant to be going to, so we're on the A7 heading down towards sort of Gala Shields. We've just been on like an hour and a half of these single track roads all the way through the hills and the mountains, but we're nearly there. So instead of putting another speed fitting, we're just going to replace the full pipe. So we've got new fittings here, and I've took it out, so these literally just clip in. I do it one-handed. Can't do that one-handed, but that just clips in there. There you go. Pipe pushes in, and then we'll put another one on the brake chamber. Now this is the brake chamber that's leaking, so just got to cut all the cable ties to get access to that pipe, like so. What one is it again? Oh, there we go. So it's that top pipe there, so we'll take that top pipe out and we'll just replace the full section. Now we've cracked off with the big spanner, and that's why it's useful to have little cut spanners in your toolbox, because you can get a lot more access when you're in tight areas. So we'll finish getting this fitting out and get a new one in. That's us got the full pipe off now, so we will go and put our new fittings in. To be fair, I should have put the fitting in and pushed that on after, but there you go. We'll go and get our new fittings in and we'll run our new section of pipe. New fitting just screws in like so. We'll tighten that up and clip on the plastic bit. That is that on, and clip that on like so. So we've got a new air pipe here, and that literally just slides in inside that fitting, like so, and then we will run that down to the brake chamber. Now we will get our brake pipe and we will roughly measure it to about there. We will get that cut and put in that fitting. There you go, so that is us cut, and that should just slide in there if I can get it to stop moving. There we go. And that is us clipped in. That is a new section done, so we'll cable tie all this back up nice and secure and then check it for leaks. That is the bottom half all nice and secure, nicely cable tied. We just need a couple up here by the torch, and then we'll get the air bolt up. There we go, fully secured. Let's go and get the air bolt up. That is our air bolt up, and we have no leaks, so everything is nice and tight, nothing's leaking. That is us fixed. Now we just pack up, so rubbish in the bin, we'll put our tools back, we'll put our fittings back, and then we'll do our paperwork. Now this isn't the cleanest of places, it's a quarry, and I drive in my socks, so we're going to put a wee mat down, put our boots on, and we can keep the inside of the van nice and clean. So now I'm just going to do my job sheet. So if I hit accept and start, I can now do my job sheet and say basically what we've done. Now this system's called auto check. I've got a link in my sort of link tree and everything to it if you want to get a demo, but it is a great system. So we just type in air leak, and then we write basically what we've done here, which we'll do that, and then we'll hit next. So that is us put a wee story. Obviously it's not damage, so we hit next. Now parts, we can add in what we've used, so we need to add in 2, so we put in M22 air fitting, and then 90-degree fitting and air pipe. And then it will ask us to upload images, so we can simply just upload them where we've got a photo of the edge, the pipe and the fixed pipe. Hit next, and that will upload all the photos that will stay on the job sheet. And now we just hit the vehicle is roadworthy, put in our mileage, which is 196,269, hit complete, and that is it done. We're now going to deal with the second most important job of the day, and that's some breakfast. So I grabbed myself some breakfast. We're literally about 5 minutes away from the house, so I'm just going to nip back up to the house. We'll go and see Rhea, see what she's up to, and then we will meet Greg we'll meet Greg doing this ECU on the DAF. We'll go meet him, we'll video some of that, see what that's all about, until something else comes in. That's breakfast done. Had to make a couple of phone calls, chase some unpaid invoices. That is the most frustrating part about being self-employed or running a business. Both the same, but we're on our way to go and meet up with Greg, and we're going to go and do this ECU on the DAF. I've never personally done one myself. Greg has, because he used to work for DAF, but it's the first time doing it through the gel test. So I'm going to go with him, have a watch, see if we can figure it out between us, how to program it and all that sort of stuff. I think we have to contact Gel Test's headquarters. I think they have to program it remotely, but we'll figure all that out. So we'll go up there just now and we'll go and meet Greg. As is on site, there's Greg just arrived. So we'll go and find this truck and we'll get the cab over and get the ECU changed. Here we go. So this is the DAF. So there is the new ECU. Greg is fitting it there now, but we're going to have to leave him because we've got a non-start in Edinburgh to go to, so he'll finish putting that in and get it programmed. Now we've left Greg up there doing that ECU. We have a non-start in transit up in Granton, so it's been sat for 4 or 5 days I believe, so it might just be a jump start, but we'll head up to that now. We'll test the batteries, and then if it needs batteries we'll get batteries. If it needs just a jump start we'll jump start it. So on our way up to Granton. As I was just pulling up now, so this is the Ford Transit that we're coming to, so we'll get it checked and see what's up with. Now that is us got our printouts, so it's charging okay, and it just says that the battery needs charge. So we're just going to pack everything away, we'll leave it running for 10 minutes, we'll switch it back off, switch it back on, make sure it starts, but that should be it done. That is us done, so just filling out our job sheet again. So it's a non-start, immediately rectifiable, attended site, carried out, battery test, required jump start, tested charging, and all okay. No parts are required. Upload images, so we've got a couple of photos including the battery test. And then once that's complete, we'll just hit roadworthy and put in our mileage. Now that's that one done. We're over to the other side of Edinburgh now. We've got a 22-minute drive for another transit that is a non-start, and it's got an amber EML. I'm going to guess the EML is maybe something to do with a non-start, but we'll head over there and we'll see what is up with that one. So we're on site with this one. It is turning over on the key. It sounds like it's not got much fuel, or it's not getting fuel, one of the two. So we're going to just do a quick diag scan and see what the fault code is. Now you can see we have that's not really focusing, but we've got a fuel rail pressures low system. So I reckon we're either out of fuel or the fuel pump stopped working. I think that's just ran out of fuel. The guy said to me that he gets issues with his fuel level all the time. When he fills it up, it only goes to halfway, and like a full tank's only like 200 miles. So I think he's got a problem with his level sender unit. Spit that out again. His level in his sender unit. I think it must be sticky, and I think he's just ran out of fuel. So we're going to nip round to the fuel station, grab some fuel, and then we'll nip back, we'll chuck 10 litres in it, and then if it's that, it should definitely start off 10 litres. So we'll go and grab some fuel and then we'll come back to it. That is us, we've got 10 litres of fuel, so luckily the fuel station was literally just round the corner, so we've filled that up and we're heading back to it now. We'll get it poured into the transit and then hopefully it starts. That is us, we've now put 10 litres in it, so we're going to try and start it. That's that sorted. So basically his fuel gauge isn't correct, it's not reading what's actually in the tank and he'd ran out of fuel. So we chucked that 10 litres in, it bled itself up and started no problem. So he's away to go and fill that up to the brim now, and we are going to head home. There's nothing else in at the moment, so we're going to drive back towards the house. If anything comes in, we'll obviously go to it, but we've got a night heater that I want to get fitted in the van before the winter comes. So we're going to go home and have a wee look at that, see how easy that is to fit. Now we just nipped back quickly and Greg's there, he's halfway through fitting his night heater. Another one's came in through in Rutherglen. Believe it or not, it's another non-start. So I believe it's just flat batteries. The batteries keep going flat. They want it jump started because it's going into the garage tomorrow where they're going to change the batteries, I think. So it's just for a jump start. So we're on our way through to Rutherglen. We're due to get there at 4 o'clock. So hopefully there's not too much traffic. So we're on site here now and I've turned up and the vehicle's actually running and he's saying it is not holding a charge. So I'm going to check it's actually charging first of all, and I'm going to check the batteries to make sure they're holding a charge. So either one of the two things will stop it. Obviously if it's no charging, it'll no restart. And if the batteries are knackered, sorry, it'll no hold charge. So we'll test that stuff and we will see what's up with it. On the Merc, so the batteries are just on the side. Pull that cover off. And there we are, so we'll get a test that and we'll check these. Now we're just going to carry out a battery test on each battery. Because if one battery is down, it will obviously no hold its charge, it will no start. So we'll carry out a battery test and see what it comes up with. Battery number 1 is good. Battery number 2 is also good. Now, since it says the batteries are good, we're going to restart it, hopefully, and test the charge. That's our test. So we've got 2 good batteries and our charging rate is normal, so there's also sun draining these batteries. So I've connected the multimeter just to see how much this voltage is actually dropping, because it's saying that it is low on the dash but it's clearly not. But by the looks of it, the batteries are fairly new, so I'm wondering if whoever fitted the batteries just hasn't reset the new battery sensor. I stood there with a multimeter on the batteries for about a good 15 to 20 minutes there just watching it, and it didn't even drop 0.1 of a volt. So whatever it is, it's obviously draining over like a longer period of time. In terms of the battery light being on the dash, I think that is just related to when it's had new batteries fitted, they've not reset the sensor. So I reckon if that sensor gets reset when they take it into the workshop tomorrow, that'll eradicate that fault. But in terms of it draining the battery, the only other thing it could possibly be over a period of time is if it's the cameras are coming on maybe overnight and that's draining the battery, but right now it wasn't draining anything, so not really too sure on that one. But I've left that and they're going to load it up and continue using it unless it faults again. So I reckon that's us done for the day. It's 5:15, we're just heading home now, 10 minutes away from the house. I think Greg's still there just finishing off his night heater. But unless anything else comes in, that is us for the day. So it was a wee bit of a non-start Monday. It's not normally like that, to be fair, to have so many in one day, but it is what it is, you can only fix what comes in. So that's that all done for today. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the day in the live video. I'll happily do a lot more of these if you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments. But thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, leave the comment, everything like that. I really do appreciate it. It all helps. But until next time, thank you.